My brother framed me of rope 8 years ago, but the truth has finally been revealed. In February 2016, I got into a major accident and spent a good part of 5 weeks in recovery. The staff told me that they contacted my emergency number, which was still Jenny at that point, and she hung up and no one showed. Once I recovered, I realized that I had spent a good part of my savings and I needed to get back on my feet, if not for anything else, to have a roof over my head. However, I realized that I won't be able to do anything in the place I was at. So I sold all my furniture, paid my remaining dues for the rented accommodation, and decided to start from scratch in a different place. I moved to a city 2 hours away and tried to get a job, for some time but to no avail. I also used to drink myself silly, and thoughts of offing myself were recurring. Waking up after seeing a nightmare to a cold sweat almost became a norm. For 4 months, this went by, after which I ran into an old acquaintance, James, from college. We greeted each other and talked about our lives for a bit. I told him I was in the city looking for a job. He told me he had just quit and was planning on setting up a management consulting firm of his own. He then invited me to a drink later on, where after a lot of talking about our professional lives, he offered me an opportunity to work with him, as he needed a couple of people who knew their stuff. At this point I